I'm Alex DiVincenzo, I run BrokeHorrorFan.com, and welcome to the premiere installment of What's in the Box. I'm not going to do my terrible Brad Pitt impersonation for you, but of course the title does come from the movie Seven, which is a film I love. It's not quite horror, but I'm going to run with it. I started Broke Horror Fan a few years ago in order to show off all the cool horror merchandise that's available out there, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little video series updating my own collection, which, as you can see just from this little segment around me, it's already pretty ridiculous, but I cannot stop buying all the cool movies, the posters, the toys, the shirts, the records. It's a never-ending addiction, and I want to share it with you guys. So every couple of weeks you're going to hear from me about what I've added to this insane hobby of mine, and I hope you enjoy. If not, we will burn it and never speak of it again. But until then, let's look and see what's in the box. We're starting things off pretty big time with a pair of mask and shirt box sets from Fright Rags. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I do some PR work for Fright Rags, but honestly, I would buy these even if I didn't. Like many kids who grew up in the 90s, I read and collected these books at big time when I was a kid. I think more people collected them than actually read them, but I did a little bit of both, which probably explains a lot about who I am today. These Vacuform masks are meant to look like the old Ben Cooper style masks, but updated in better quality. Each mask comes packaged in a cool window box that's made to look like an old Goosebumps book, and they also come packaged with a shirt. We'll get to those in a second, but let's take a look at the masks first. First up is the Haunted Mask. Now, this was always my favorite Goosebumps book as a kid, as well as my favorite episode of this show, so I was really happy to see Fright Rags do this. And over here we have Slappy the Dummy. He might be the most recognizable Goosebumps character. R.L. Stine has written several books about him. Another really cool looking, great paint job. They're a lot sturdier than the old Ben Cooper style masks, but same idea. Give you that retro feel, including the string attachment, but it's a lot sturdier. It won't break off after one house of trick-or-treating like the old ones. So these are really cool. And each mask, of course, comes with its own original shirt, exclusive to the set. Here's the one for the Haunted Mask. This one reminds me of the old Goosebumps cover, which is always a good thing. It's designed by Justin Osborne, who's probably one of my favorite artists doing designs for Fright Rags. All of his stuff is amazing in terms of likeness. And here is the Night of the Living Dummy shirt featuring Slappy himself. As you can see, he walks and he stalks. I love the little taglines on there. Now these box sets will run you $42 each. It sounds a little steep at first, but it's honestly well worth it. Fright Rags really puts their all into these. You get a shirt, which alone will cost you about $27, plus you get the mask and the cool set. It's worthy of display, really. I think if you're a fan of Goosebumps, you will love to have these in your collection. One of the cool perks of running a horror site is you get a lot of cool screeners in the mail, not only of new releases, but also of re-releases of classic movies that are hitting Blu-ray. Now right here I have the Warlock Collection. It's put out by Lionsgate as part of the Vestron Video Collectors series. As you can see on the numbered spine, this is their 11th release. Believe it or not, I had not seen a Warlock film prior to this showing up in my mailbox. I've since watched all three, and you'll be able to find my full review on BrokeHorrorFan.com. But I had a lot of fun going through with it. I'd heard mixed things about the sequel, but I actually ended up liking Part 2, which is Warlock the Armageddon, a lot. I think I enjoyed it even more than the first. It goes full horror. There's a lot of cool creature and gooey effects in there. But the first one's a lot of fun too. The third one, it reeks of being a late 90s direct-to-video horror release, but there's some fun to be had there as well. It stars Ashley Lawrence from the Hellraiser films. It's a cool little package. The dude designs does the artwork. He's a really good artist. I think this cover's a little bit busy, but if you look up close, the detail is really cool. There's a slipcase, of course, for the collectors, and then beneath that, it has the same artwork. And inside on the discs is also the same artwork. The first movie gets its own disc, and it has a bunch of extras, both new and old, and then the second and third share a disc. They also have some extras, mostly archival. But this is a really cool set. I know the Vestron line tends to get a little pricey. You might want to wait till this one's on sale, although I will say that their sets, like the recent Wishmaster one, you kind of get more bang for your buck. This next one is part of Scream Factory's first foray into steelbook releases, and it is John Carpenter's Escape from New York. They released 3 classic Carpenter titles, Escape from New York, They Live, and The Fog, as steelbooks. Each one's limited to 10,000. You can find them online. You can also find them in Best Buy. This one is my favorite of the 3. I'm a big John Carpenter fan, though, so you can't really go wrong with any of them. It's the same release that they put out before, but now it's in this shiny steelbook case with new artwork. All 3 releases have matching artwork, so if you get them all, you can kind of match them up. It has the extras listed on the back, but that peels off to reveal more artwork. I'm curious how other collectors feel about these. I usually save them and kind of tuck them inside, but I can't resist that artwork. And as we open it up, we can see that full artwork in all its glory. And inside we have the discs. Disc 1 has the film. Disc 2 is filled with extras and special features. Over here we got a little quote. It's a really cool release if you already own them. It's hard to justify buying it just for the case. But if you haven't picked up the releases that Scream Factory originally put out, these are a no-brainer. They're actually cheaper than the other ones tend to sell for. You can pick them up at Best Buy for about 15 bucks a piece, which is a bargain because the original versions sell for like 20. Now you're getting a limited edition case that looks great, sounds great, plays great. I highly recommend this one. And last but certainly not least, we have the Evil Dead 2 Adult Coloring and Activity Book. You might have seen recently that it was National Coloring Book Day on social media. I didn't know that day existed, but I was glad that I had this so I could celebrate. This is put out by Space Goat Publishing, who also releases the Evil Dead 2 comic book line, which is a really cool comic if you're a fan of the 1987 Sam Raimi classic, as I am. It follows Ash's severed, possessed hand from Evil Dead 2, grown into a full person. So you get Ash as we know him with some new adventures, but it doesn't mess up the continuity of Army of Darkness. Now this basically takes line art from the comic and lets you color it in, as well as draw your own cover art and do some cool activities. It's a lot of fun. I know the adult coloring trend is pretty big right now, so if you want to celebrate, this is the perfect way to do it as a horror fan. Thank you guys for watching the first installment of What's in the Box. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I would love to hear your feedback, so please leave a comment below, whether it's positive or you have some criticism as to how I could improve. This is my first time doing anything like this, so I will gladly take constructive criticism. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel for more and leave a like, maybe share the video on social media, and I will see you next time.